Hello and welcome to Zendikar Rising set booster opening number 9. This is still on the same day as 7 and 8. I was going to stop at 8, but I realised my mum is teaching her virtual gym classes downstairs. So I shall be continuing. And yes, that also answers your question. I still live at home with my parents. However, I do have a job and I'm working from home. I will not say what it is though, so just so you know, I am still trying to get out there on the grind. I don't want to be one of those people who sits at home and just does nothing for the family, you know? And I know that sounds like me being rude, but really, just sitting at home and just expecting your parents to do everything for you once you're past a certain age is, I don't know. It's just, how can you, I don't know, it just makes it, how can you live like that, really? It would make me feel too sad. Anyway, here we have our... Okay, I just want to say with the previous statement as well, I don't know what your situation with your parents is as well. Just take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. Just, what I'm trying to say in a nicer light is get out there and do something. And just enjoy your life, really. Do something. Anyway, on with this. Very nice. This is a card in this set, I believe. I mean, all of them probably are. This is Anticognition by Igor Kirilluk. There we go. Got it wrong the first time. Look at that. Very nice. Signs of Madness. Oh, okay. Got a foil full art. Planes. They're very good at printing these foils now. There used to be loads of complaints about how... I mean, it's still pretty bent. Look at that. I mean, maybe it's hard to avoid. You can kind of see the bend. If you get what I'm trying to... If you can see it. Besides that, it's pretty decent. Yeah. There is a video that I've got planned showing, in bare essence, print runs and how bad it is to print foils, but that's for another project. But yeah, I will hopefully get that out at some point. Anyway, this is Tajuru Snarecaster. It's 2 neutral, 1 green, creature elf rogue, common, reach. Elves of the Tajuru nation spend their lives in ancient jaddy trees, expansive canopy, some living and dying without ever touching the ground. It's a 1/4. 1/4 reach, 3 mana, really just a placeholder to keep control of your board for as long as you can in green to get your big creatures out. Really, I think you could get something better. It's just kind of like an anti-flying card, if flying's very big. Yeah, if you have nothing to do with flying, this may be your way of dealing with it. Besides that, yeah, I wouldn't see myself using it that much. I tend to like dealing with flying with other flying creatures or just removal. So, yeah, is what it is. I mean, basically, reach is just a downgraded flying, isn't it? Because flying means that you could attack over all the others. But when you have reach, all that means is you can block flying. You can't attack over all the others. It's like, well, might as well be flying, because then you can block flying anyways. Is what it is. Anyway. Expedition Skulker. 1 neutral, 1 black. Creature vampire rogue. Expedition Skulker has death touch as long as you control another rogue. Rogues bring an array of useful skills to the work of an adventuring party. Stealth, agility, the ability to locate and disarm traps, and a subtle, deadly fighting style. 2/2. So, I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say wizards... Wizards are tribal blue, warriors are tribal red, rogues are tribal black. And what's the other one in the party? Dear. Clerics are tribal white. That's what I've seen. There's obviously some reach over in the things, but the most commons are going to carry those. And green, who knows? Flex, just random. Maybe it's all just that elf. Maybe it's elves that can be whatever they want. Like Tarjuru Paragon. Anyway, going off the power level of this, going goes into a rogue tribal. Death Touch as long as you control another rogue. It's a 2 mana. At that point, you're not really controlling another rogue. Maybe on 3 mana you play another rogue, and then you got a Death Touch rogue. Yeah, I think this is decent. I think this is decent. I could see myself playing this. If I was building a rogue deck, because Death Touch is pretty cool. Anyway, talking about Death Touch, maybe I don't know about anything about it. Tajuru Blightblade, 1 green, creature elf rogue, common, Death Touch. Aura Undar, the Kalni Garden is a lush tangle of growth in the harsh lands of Akum. Its plant growth is marvelously diverse, a brilliant spectrum of vibrant life and speedy death. So 1/1, 1/1 Death Touch, 1 mana, perfect. Really, early game control. Just they're gonna have to use removal to get rid of that, or sacrifice one of their early creatures. Stops aggro. Because if the aggro will have to use one of their removes on this, or sacrifice one of their early creatures. Stops big creatures coming out early from attacking. You got a Death Touch, done. Yeah, decent 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. It isn't a confirmed remove, but it's a big target for a removal spell, so you'll get that out of their hand, and you'll destroy one of their maybe important attacking creatures, or stop them from attacking because this will be in their way. A small Death Touch can really stop a lot of traffic if the opponent doesn't have the right tools. So yeah. Anyway, we've seen this. Oh no, we haven't seen this before. This is a Deadly Alliance for neutral 1 black instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, common. So I reviewed this in a test run that hasn't been uploaded in one of the 2 packs I opened off camera. And if we were to compare it to the baseline Murder, which is 3 mana, so baseline 3 mana, this will cost 3 mana. If you have 2 creatures out which are in a party, this would go in a party deck besides anyway. You wouldn't really use this as removal otherwise. So yeah, it's really just removal for party decks. A black party deck that utilizes party and needs removal. Yeah. So narrow-minded, but good at what it does. So yeah. Ghastly Gloom Hunter, 1 neutral, 1 black creature, zombie bat. I like zombie. It's a common, kicker 3 neutral, 1 black, flying lifelink. If Ghastly Gloom Hunter was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Stinking Silent Death, and it's a 1/1. So, 2 mana, 1/1 flying lifelink. It's okay. It's like, meh. The lifelink triggers with a lot of those life gain and life lost abilities. And it has flying, so it's very cheap to get that in. So you'll most likely get a couple of those hits in. And it has a kicker, just as a little extra thing on top. It's nice. It's a nice trigger for those life gain decks that work off gaining it in small amounts. And just a nice thing that you can buff up if you get it in late game. I like it. Decent common card, really. Now we're on to an uncommon. We've got a Wind Rider Wizard. It's a 2 neutral, 1 blue creature, human wizard, uncommon, flying. Whenever you cast an instant, sorcery, wizards, or wizard spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. It's an ideal method for exploring sky ruins. The drakes sniff me briefly, but then lose interest. 2/2. This is probably the most common card we've pulled out of packs. However, it's one of my favorites. Well, not favorites, but one of the better ones. So yeah. Don't need to explain this again. If you want to see an explanation for that, see the other video. You know what? Briefly, good cycle, flying, wizard, 2/2, 3 mana. There you go. Those are the key points. Okay, we got a showcased Akum Hellhound. 1 red creature elemental dog. Common, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Akum Hellhound gets +2/+2 until end of turn, 0/1. We got this before, not the showcase version, just a normal one. And I believe it's good if you're trying to build some sort of board control in red. If you're going with aggro, I think there would be better tools. Maybe if you're just I think any red deck, coming back to this, any red deck that is not focusing on aggro, I think would play this. I think they would. It would be, yeah. So if your red deck was not aggro, I think this would be quite common. You might even call it a staple if there isn't that many like cool things you can do on turn one in your deck. So yeah, I I'm for Akum Hellhound. I'm for him. Okay. So Tajuru Blightblade, we got one early in this. It's, I'm gonna do it just for the sake of routine. It's 1 green, creature elf rogue, common, death touch, Aura Ondar. The Kalnari Garden is a lush tangle of growth in the harsh lands of Akum. Its plant growth is marvelously diverse, a brilliant spectrum of vibrant life and speedy death. 1/1. You already know my opinion on that from this video. It is a way to stop big creatures quite effectively, in my opinion. Expedition Diviner, 3 neutral, 1 blue, creature merfolk wizard, common, flying as long as you control another wizard. Expedition Diviner has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Wizard spells twist the fabric of reality to channel elemental energies, peer into the future, and even calm the royal. 3/2. We've got this card before, I believe, and I am not a fan of it. Its effect only comes in kind of wizard tribal, really, or if maybe you just have 2 wizards out. And it's just when it dies, draws a card, so they could just target your other wizards, then go for this one. 3 mana flying, 3/2. We just saw a 2 mana flying 1/1 lifelink, which is basically means you're paying 2 mana for a 2/1 increase in stats, and the loss of lifelink. So really just not powerful. No, not powerful. Not a fan. Ooh, we've got something interesting coming up, ladies and gentlemen. But this deserves its attention. So a Kazandu Mammoth, 1 neutral, 2 green, creature elephant, rare, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Kazandu Mammoth gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It doesn't obey me, it cooperates with me. Terrell Kazandu Tuskcaller, 3/3. And then we've got the Kazandu Valley, land rare. Kazandu Valley enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add green. The elves stick to the trees, here where the trees welcome the sky and leave room for grazing herds. This is our land. Terrell Kazandu Tuskcaller. This is perfect. This is an amazing card. I was waiting to say that. This is amazing. This card is very good. It's a 3/3 for 3 mana, which is like, you go like, it's not that good. Landfall turns into a 5/5. 5/5 is sometimes the stats you have in green to end the game, and you get that on turn 4. I mean, that's pretty good, and it's a flip. So like, for some reason, maybe you already have big creatures out there, and you just need land to pay that extra big spell that you have. Here you go. Granted, it comes in tap, but still, it has that flexibility. This is an amazing card. I could see it being put into any green deck. Any green deck as just a mid-range control. So like it just holds the board in that mid-range game. Really amazing. Yeah, I'm all for the Kazandu Mammoth. Okay, welcome back. My camera died on me halfway through opening that pack, so with the help of some editing magic, I've combined these two videos together because we don't want to miss out on what's coming up, and also the art showcase. I mean, this is what I was getting very excited about. It's an ancient green warden, 4 neutral, 2 green, creature elemental, mythic, reach. You may play lands from your graveyard. If a land enters the battlefield, if a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. When the ruins awakened, so did their defenses. 5/7. This is the big finishing creature you would have in a green deck. You play lands from your graveyard, so if your opponent's been removing your lands, you just put them back in. If you've been drawing through them and discarding land cards, you now play those land cards. So now those discarded land cards they're basically in your hand. he triggers abilities that also trigger when lands come into play, which would synergize great if you've got other cards that do that. Making your deck just, this is just that finisher you would want. To say if it's a very powerful mythic, to the point of where this foil of it gives it a large price tag, I don't know. I would say though, if you have a very good amount of green cards that have land trigger abilities, you would play him. So yeah, pretty cool, and he's a foil, so very decent. And we got a Drake token creature Drake, common, flying 2/2. So yeah, very nice ending to that pack. Even though the camera gave out, I will do the art showcase. The camera will hopefully not give out. I checked on the reason why, and it shouldn't interfere with us anymore. So don't worry. There we go. The art, I'm not gonna lie, the art on this does seem a little lackluster. But still, the effect itself is what makes up for it. Kazandu Mammoth. One of my favourite cards I would always use. Even more so, like this is the thing. That card, that mythic, will go for a lot more money than this. However, I would use this card way more in any green deck I built. That Kazandu Mammoth is just such a good, just mid-range staple. Anyway, Expedition Diviner, kind of terrible, not nice. Tajaru Blightblade, a scary little boy, very nice. Showcase Akum Hellhound, nice red staple for anything non-aggro. Windrider Wizard, decent blue cycle. Ghastly Gloom Hunter, decent flying life trigger. He's got a little rabbit, look at that. Pretty cool. Deadly Alliance, party removal. Got a Taju Blightblade again. I've already spoke on him and seen his art. Expedition Skulker, Assassin Rogue Tribal. Tajaru Snare Catcher, Reach Blocker, a bit weak, I would say. Foil Land. I really like, look at the way that foil goes over this land here. Ooh. Just very nice. There's a little bit of, you can see the print scratches there. That's a shame. I don't know where that's come from, but it's fine. It's not like I'm looking for like a 10 grade card. I don't mind that much. And yeah, our art card. So yeah, very nice pack. I will probably call it quits there for today. And that was, yeah, pack number 9. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.